So I want to talk to you about how to store your skis, and some of these tips and bits of advice apply to snowboards too, and the rest of your ski equipment for that matter. So number one rule, never ever store your skis or any other ski equipment in the loft. These skis in particular, but most of the skis on our wall here are made with a wood core. Think about your door frames in your home, summer and winter. The frames can expand, they contract, and the doors get a bit stiff, get a bit loose. Exactly the same thing is going on within your skis. If you put them in an area of humidity or heat and cold change, the wood will expand and contract. That is not a good thing. The core of the ski can expand. When it contracts, it can delaminate your skis. So never in a loft. Some people say to me, oh, it's okay, it's not a loft, it's up in the roof of my office in the ceiling. Heat travels up, as does humidity. So never in those areas. Under the bed, unless you've got a Jack Russell like me, back of a wardrobe, on display in the living room along with your boots to show off to everyone how much you love skiing. But keep them somewhere that's neutral, but not anywhere that's overly hot, overly cold, or with high humidity. The other thing you need to pay attention to is how you store your skis. So here are mine clipped together, and you can see on the skis that there is this camber in the middle, so there's a little bit of a gap. When we get skis coming for servicing, they can come into our shop sometimes, and the curve can be like this, the camber can be like that. And that shows us that the wood has basically shriveled inside the ski, contracted and damaged the ski core, again from being in the loft. So what you want to do is store them, as we said before, somewhere neutral, but also make sure we do not clamp this area in the middle. A number of people I see come in with a strap through the middle of the skis. That is a bad idea. You are compressing that camber, which helps with you when you're carving. So we want that camber to stay with the ski for as long as possible to give you many years of skiing fun. So what we do is we take two straps, we place one strap up here where this rocker zone or where the two skis are touching, we put a strap through there. Ideally one with a pad like the skiers lounge ones we sell at our front desk. Nice and cheap but effective. The second strap we put exactly the same at this end, at the tail end. So where the bases touch and the tails move apart, put another strap in there. The advantage of doing that is we keep that natural camber of the ski that the designer wanted you to have for best performance, but also it stops the ski scissoring. So when you're walking around in resort and you do this, I hate doing this to my skis, you get scratches at the top and the bottom, which impact the performance because it removes wax. With those straps there, that just can't happen. One other myth to blow as well out the water is bindings. Many years ago when you had ski bindings, you used to turn the DINs right down to zero when you were putting them in storage. Those days are gone. What you now need to do is pay attention to how the bindings come into the shop or when you receive them. If I go into my room behind me to look at my bindings and all my stock, every single pair has a DIN setting, usually around the middle of the range. So if it's got like a 3 to 10, it'll be sitting around DIN 6. The designers set that up so that the spring is at its optimum in the middle of the range. If you keep loosening the binding spring at the end of a season and then tighten it again, the spring will lose its memory and start to elongate, which means you won't have a true DIN strength setting that the binding is supposed to have. If you have any doubts at all over your DIN setting, talk to a ski technician like me. We're a grumpy lot, but we know what we're talking about. But otherwise, leave your bindings well alone through the winter. There is no longer any need to take your bindings DIN setting down every summer and then put them back up in the winter. And it also leads to the risk of you actually forgetting to do it, heading out on the mountain, and your ski disappearing off down ahead of you. So that's my tips on how to look after your skis when storing them through the off season.